Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You are in the Prog Corner. Today it's part 5 of your favorite obscure prog rock album, where you gave me your nominations and I'm ranking them, all 145 of them. And today it's part 5. We're looking at numbers 21 through 45. And without any further ado, Illume Eltonen. Yeah, you've been waiting patiently. We've gone back and forth on what exactly it is that you're nominating here, but I have decided that since no one else nominated Aphrodite's Child 666, the great Vangelis masterpiece from 1972, R.I.P. the Greek Freak, man, you are going to be missed. She nominated that, but she also was talking about the United Progressive Fraternity's first album, Fall in Love with the World. I almost went that route, but I'm putting you down for Aphrodite's Child. What a great album. I can't believe nobody else nominated it. Maybe because it's not that obscure. I don't know. A lot of people haven't heard it. I love it. At number 45. At number 44, this comes courtesy of Henry George. It's Gnidrolog's first album, In Spite of Henry's Toes, or Harry's Toes, or whatever. They put 2 albums out in the 70s, and they're both great. This one and Lady Lake, I love them both. I've been actually preferring this one here lately, but they're both terrific. If you don't know Gnidrolog, do yourself a favor, check them out. At number 43, we're going with McStein and Minneman's first album. This is Randy McStein, Marco Minneman doing their thing. They put out a second album. This one came out when did it come out? 2020. Thank you, Paul Duda, for that suggestion. Randy McStein has just been named the touring guitarist for Porcupine Tree, so you're going to be hearing a whole lot more about him. I had never listened to either of those albums, and I'm glad that you suggested it, Paul, so that I actually took some time and listened to it. Wow, those two guys are great together. At number 42, we're going to Quebec with Maneige and Nouvelle. Thank you, Francois Berube, for that one. I do not speak French, obviously. This is their second album, I think. I knew their first album. This may be their third album. I'm somehow thinking I knew their first 2 albums, and then this one I had never heard before. It's a great record. Thank you so much for that suggestion, Francois. I need to get into more Quebec prog. There's so much out there, and we are going to have probably the greatest Quebec prog album in part 6. I think if you know anything about Canadian prog, you probably know what that's going to be. Anyway, at number 41, courtesy of Steve Cassidy, we're going to the Netherlands and Third Eye. This is Sound Cycles. It was just released in 2021. But apparently this is like a long lost album. It was recorded in 1973, and they just put it out. I don't know if it ever came out before 2021, but I really like this album a whole lot. I've heard of this band. I'd never really listened to this band, so I was really happy that Steve gave me that suggestion. At number 40, we're going to go to 1971 and Switzerland with a debut album from Toad. Thank you, Hayes Terrapin, for this. I knew about Toad. I'd seen the album cover. I never listened to him before. It does sound like 1971 distilled in one record. If you get all the sounds from that era, distill them down, put them on one album. It's probably Toad's first album. It's really cool. I like it a lot. At number 39, Jeff Shilka has nominated a great one from Africa, the great Ghanaian prog band Osibisa with their second album from 1971. Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of these guys. I really like what they do. I love the Roger Dean artwork on the first 2 albums. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that. At number 38, this one comes courtesy of Mark Maxwell. This is a great pick. We're going to Germany. It's 1978, and it's Führs and Fröhling, and the album is Ammerland. I love these 2 guys. They were with a guy named Schick They put out an album in 1976 called Symphonic Pictures, which is one of my favorite German albums of all time. Schick took off, and the two of them did a couple albums together. This is the best of the two that I've heard. I really like this album a lot. Great call, Mark Maxwell, at number 37. We're going to Connecticut and Crucible's Tall Tales. This came out in 1997. Thank you, Josip Maria Romu. This is a band I totally forgot about. They put out two albums, one in 97. I think the second album came out in like 01. I do like this first album better. It's actually really good. Kind of a Genesis, sort of feel a little pastoral, a little symphonic, but really great. At number 36, another Roger Dean cover. Yeah, it's 1972. It has to be the 70s. It's First Base from Babe Ruth. This is their first album. It had the hits The Mexican and Wells Fargo on it. Two great songs. I really like this album. My sister's boyfriend had it back in the 70s, so I remember growing up listening to it and being amazed at Jenny Hahn's voice. What a terrific singer she was. At number 35, oh, this is just great. Thanks a whole lot, Thomas Rebsomer. Just what I need. A band with a ginormous discography hitting my radar. Thanks for nothing, bro. Galleon from Sweden. Their seventh album, From Land to Ocean, came out in 2003. It's a long album. It's a double album. Disc 1 is Land. Disc 2 is The Ocean. They're all kind of like one big long song with, individual tracks. It sounds so good. Oh, man, I really need a band with 100 albums in my life, This band sounds terrific. I'd never heard them before. Obviously, I'd seen their name. I figured they were like a prog metal band or like a neo-prog band or something, but these guys sound more symphonic than I thought they would. I should have known they're from Sweden. With a name like that, I should have known better. Great call, Thomas. Thank you so much. At number 34, from the Ukraine, it's Anthony Kalugin and Stellar Gardner. This one came out last year. This was the third in a series of solo albums that he did, the best of the three. This was one that he actually used a real drummer on. A lot of his solo albums, he uses programmed drums, including the new one that just came out last week. But it's a great album, and I might do an album review of it. But Stellar Gardner is one of his best albums. I really like it. I love Anthony Kalugin. I love Carphagen. Support the Ukraine. We can't let this crime go unanswered. At number 33, oh, yeah, Matthew and Doris. You guys have nominated Birth Control, Operation, their second album from 1971. This is the German band. They're great. Their first album was okay, but this album was great. And then the third album, Hoodoo Guru Man or whatever that was called, and then Rebirth, and then Plastic People. They had such a great run in the early 70s, but Operation is fantastic. That album cover is really cool too. At number 32, courtesy of Steve Rogers, we're going to Germany and Epidaurus with Earthly Paradise from 1977. This is a great album. I had heard this album before, so I was really happy to see that it was nominated. Some people don't like Christine Ward's voice. I do. I think it really adds an extra dimension to their sound. And, in the 70s, there weren't a lot of females singing in prog bands, so it's a welcome change. I really do enjoy that, Steve. Good call. At number 31... we're going to France, and France's greatest prog band is Ange, and their fourth album, Emile, Jacotey, from 1975. I am a big fan of French prog. I really love Ange. This is one of their better albums. This comes courtesy of Alex, a great call. I love them. If you don't know Ange, yeah, you could do worse than starting here. At number 30, from Denmark, it's Mew and the Glass-Handed Kites. This comes to me from 555. I like this band. They're kind of a alternative band, kind of an indie band, but they have a lot of prog in what they do. They're from Denmark. This is their fourth album, and it came out in 2005. Highly recommended. I've heard like 3 or 4 of Mew's albums, and this is the one I like the best. At number 29, Toru Okada, you picked a great one from Norway. It's Popul and Quiche from 1973. Their second album. It's amazing. It's got the krautrock kind of feel to it, but there's so much more than that. I love these guys. After this album came out, they had to change their name to Popul Ace because there was another band with the same name, and they came out with a couple more albums under that moniker. But to me, the first two Popul albums are just incredible, and this one is probably my favorite. What a great call. Toru Okada. Excellent. At number 28, we need to get going. I'm kind of slowing down here a little bit. We're going to St. Louis, Missouri, and surprise with AssaultzOn Merryland. This came out in 1977. Michael Benz nominated this. I love me some obscure American prog. This fits the bill perfectly. I really enjoy it a lot. I don't know anything about these guys. I don't think they ever released another album, but AssaultzOn Merryland is fantastic. Check it out. Number 27. The great Jim Newsted must be heard from, and his selection is an amazing one. You know, somebody had nominated something from Quartetto 1111. I had no idea who they were, and then I dug in and I found out that the main dude in that band was Jose Cid, and I absolutely know who he is, the great Portuguese musician, singer, songwriter, and his second solo album was 10,000 Años Después entre Venus and Mars, 10,000 years until we enter Venus or Mars. I don't speak Portuguese that well, but this is an amazing album from 1978. Jim, you did it. An amazing call. I love this album. Fantastic. At number 26, we're going all the way back to 2018 and the Tangent's 10th album, Proxy. I love this album. I'm a big Tangent fan. I love Andy Tillison, and Proxy might be... It's not his best album, but it's in the top 3 or 4 of the Tangent albums. It's really great. I love it a lot. I love them. At number 25. Yeah. Okay. Tangent. Now let's backtrack a little bit. The Tangent came to me from my good friend Sidecar Dog. Number 25, 2 people had nominated. That's how good this one is, from 1973. Bill Grace and Jacques Arsenault have nominated Il Ruscio della Medaglia. What? I can't wait to do my Italian episode. And Contaminazione. Look at that album cover, people. Do not get the English version. The album cover's terrible. It's not nearly as good as the Italian version. And this album's great. The album cover gives you a great clue as to what you're getting on the inside. It's souped up Bach and whatnot. It's just a lot of fun. It sounds crazy. The production is so unique. I've never heard an album that sounds like this before in my life. Italian prog is kind of my thing, and yeah, that's right in my wheelhouse. At number 24. Thank you, Jerry Barber. I don't know how obscure this is, but maybe to prog heads, Todd Rundgren's A Wizard, a True Star might not be the first thing you think of when you think of a great prog rock album, but it should. I mean, it should. Oh, man, when my brother was away in college, I used to sit in his dorm room, and his roommate had this record and Something Anything, and I would listen to this album and just be amazed that Todd Rundgren had a brain that could come up with that stuff. It's progressive, it's catchy, it's weird, it's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite Todd Rundgren album by a mile. At number 23. We're going back to Italy. It's 1975, and a band named Maxophone puts out their one and only album, and it's an absolute masterpiece, a stone cold killer this album is. It's just so good. R.I.P. Sergio Latuada. He left us in 2018, but he did us the enormous favor of putting out a second Maxophone album the year before he died, and it's really terrific too. But the debut Maxophone album, one of the greatest Italian albums ever, at number 22. 1970 saw the release of Soft Machine's third. It's a seminal record. It's one of the pivotal records in the history of prog rock. If you don't know it, you need to know it. Before Mike Oldfield put out Incantations, and Yes put out Tales from Topographic Oceans, and Godspeed You Black Emperor put their double album out with one song on each side. Yeah, it was Soft Machine doing it first and doing it well. What a fantastic record. They are one of the great bands of all time, and this is their masterpiece, the one you need if you don't know them. And finally, at number 21, who gave me Soft Machine? Oh, hey, you didn't think you were going to get off the hook that easy. There were two people that nominated Soft Machine. It was Eduardo Calvo and Guitars, Cats, and Music. Obviously, you two guys know exactly what time it is. For our final selection of the day, we're going to Australia and the great Sebastian Hardie, their first album, Four Moments from 1975. This came courtesy of Gaza. Wow, do I love this album. I don't know a whole lot about the Australian progressive rock scene, but I sure do know these guys, and I sure know this album. And Mario Millo was the singer and the songwriter for this band, and he was just amazing. This album's great. Their second album was great. Symphonic, just beautiful melodies, well put together stuff. I really, really like Sebastian Hardie a lot. Anyway, so we've got one more episode to go with your top 20, but I think there were a couple late additions, so I may cheat a little bit and do a few things. I might even do a 7th episode with my recap of the obscure prog albums that I love that no one nominated. I'm still kicking that around. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys know that. I have no clue what I'm doing here, but I do know that I love you guys, and I will see you all very, very soon. Have a great day. Stay safe. Behave yourselves. Treat other people right. Old people, children, the disabled. Come on now. We need more love in this world, less hate. And I know you guys are the ones to do it because prog rock fans have the greatest brains of any people walking the planet because we could see things and hear things that nobody else can. So we can discern when we're being lied to. And trust me, we are being lied to with all this hatred and division. You know, it is all about love. It is all about respect. And it is all about music, my friends. I will see you guys on the flip flop. Peace.